Well done for completing your first coaching cycle. So how did you find it?
Do you know what? I actually found it really insightful just for myself. But I think what made it easier is that I know that because, Trisha was also doing it, but, my senior leadership team are so good that they will take all the learning, they will apply it and use it. So it was actually a lot easier than what I had anticipated in terms of like, that kind of difficulty in the pause times, the waiting and this and the other. Trisha just seemed to reel off everything that she needed to, and it was actually easier to coach her than it would be probably an unknown. So yeah, it was interesting. I really enjoyed it.
Good, good. And you obviously made good impact on coaching, didn't you? So what were you most pleased with in terms of that impact?
I think it was her managing her time and making sure that all of those kinds of unachievable tasks are actually achievable. Like I said, she came up with the answers herself. It was actually like that questioning that was kind of like teasing. So how are you going to do it? And sometimes it was like the silences were like minimal because she's so good. She was just reeling it off because she already knew how to do it. But actually, when you're saying it out loud, then it becomes actually a reality rather than something which is in your head. And I think that's what was one of the things which she had mentioned, uh,
Mm,
something that really kind of helped her through that coaching process.
good. And what do you think the outcome would have been if you hadn't coached her then?
I think we would have been bumbling along just, with the whole anticipation of we've got to do something, or I've got to meet with this person, or, this person needs to do this particular thing. And I think we would have gone through the rumblings of the moaning cycle, which we don't want. And we
Yeah. So it saves you time as well then, doesn't it? Because if you've got to go through the moaning, time, stress.
absolutely no, we had time, we got things done. It was like a completely different half term with us as leaders than, what historically could have happened. I mean, there were the odd occasional moans about people not doing, but then actually we switched that to, okay, so what are we going to do next? How are we going to make it work for us? Or, how do we need to get them to do this? So like the conversation's just completely changed.
Wow. Well done. This is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's really
Yeah.
eye-opening. I don't know if anyone's approached you, but I recommended your style of coaching to some local head teachers as well.
Oh, thank you.
Just on the whim because they were asking actually which coaching company do you use, and I just think it's really important because if you're going to invest in something, it's got to be something which is actually you're going to see tangible results. And from the moment we've started to up until now, we were all seeing really really good results. Like Becky was talking to me this morning about how her questioning has changed, and it's like,
Yeah.
what are you going to do about it? How are you going to do this? Remember, this is your job. So what ways can you kind of like, prioritize tasks? So, the questioning has completely changed.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for recommending us to people.
It's just really good.
Yeah.
If they don't, I will still keep singing your praises, but it's just really, really.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It's really lovely because obviously, the more people we can help ultimately, the more difference it makes to the children, doesn't it?
We've seen it like with more the year 5 and 16,
Yeah.
nutrition in particular, ask us to look at those children who are free school meals, and they've really homed in on actually which of those children need the additional support, how many like gaps are there, what they can do, how they can kind of like build in that intervention around it. So whatever she's done in our sessions, she's taken it away and done it with her sessions, and we can see a real kind of flip in the teacher's mentality around those children who are just on the cusp of making that shift from below to expected. So yeah,
Yeah.
really, really insightful.
Wow. That is fantastic. So how do you think it's helping you all drive the school forward?
Oh, it's just given us that kind of chance to questioning the ability that you can do this, you are going to do this, whether they like it or not, we don't know. But we are seeing a difference, we are seeing a change. Like I said, we don't spend most of our time moaning about them not doing what they should be doing. It's more of, okay, so what can we do next sort of thing. Our kind of internal questioning has changed. So it's definitely, I can see a drive for that improvement now. And even when we meet with the middle leaders, or I meet with the middle leaders, there's always that kind of like, let's bring it back to what you want. How are you going
Yeah.
to, how are you
Nice.
Not how am I going to do it for you, but how are you going to get there?
What difference has that made to you?
Oh, okay, I've got a lot of work done. I had to take on
Yes.
a tricky parental complaint from another school, which needed a lot of my time
Mm.
within the first few weeks of the coaching cycle. And I found that when I was getting coached, because that was one of my things, was like work-life balance from,
Yeah.
I found that actually what I was doing is I was able to do that as well as my role, all the other jobs that I needed to do, manage those curveballs. And do you know what? I was going home feeling actually quite successful.
Well done. That is brilliant.
It was good. It was really good. It was really kind of like, okay, prioritize, get these things in, completely change the way that I've put things in my calendar as well. So I've got like, Alex probably will type it up in his things. So three
Yeah.
colors red to do, like urgently. I've got the green, I've got to do it, but it's not as urgent as the red. And then once I've done it, I've color coded it yellow, so then I can see a lot of success. Or if
Nice.
I didn't do it, then I can see actually what I then need to reprioritize for the next week. So yeah, it really, really helped.
Oh, that is fantastic because I always think it's lovely when you get the personal benefits from it, but also you get to experience what it's like to be on the receiving end, don't you? As well as just, being a coach, by being coached yourself, you get to see a completely different side to it because you can't quite understand it until you have been coached in that way, can you?
It does come at a cost, but the cost is well worth it when you can see the results. And, like you said, it's freed up our time. And
Yeah.
we do go home. We're not working like, I remember this time last year, we were working till 8, 9 o'clock every day. And, we were in the Ofsted window. And, the difference to where we are now to where we were last year, obviously, not just coaching, but actually it's taking the training that we've had as well and using this coaching to
Yeah.
kind of drive us forward and propel us forward has been quite significant because this year, like I said, there's just a complete difference in the SLT, which I've noticed because they've shifted their mindset as well. So it's not a lack of, it's actually what can we do more of. Made such a difference. And this is where the difference is. If you have a really good team who are on the same wavelength, who will do things their way, but always will get it done, it makes such a big difference. And for them, this has been really, really yeah, it takes time, it takes money. This has been a really good way of actually rephrasing things, reframing things as well for them. So they're not in that lack mindset.
Yeah. And that's fantastic because like you've described, that investment in time.
We've seen a shift in writing since I've taken it over. I've had like the writing consultants in from the program that we're using. And we had children in year 3 who weren't writing much, like a word or two. There was a child who came in who wrote a reworded myth of Pied Piper. And,
Oh, wow.
it was like amazing to see like the transformation. And again, like you said, such a short amount of time, but again, it's that shift in thinking.
Yeah.
And that's really, 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 really helped. So yeah, it has been 5 months, but again, it's just how you apply it. But we've definitely seen the impact.
Well, look, thanks again for your time today. And yeah, have a good rest of your day.
You too. Take care.